Alright, what's up guys? It's Nick Coleman, editor of UPNEXT Film. So earlier this week we started a thread on Reddit and asked users to ask us any film questions. We told them we choose the best 7 and answer them this week. So here we go. Alright, first up, Horror Junkie 999. Have you seen Hereditary? No, I have not seen Hereditary. I had a friend tell me some very explicit details about a decapitation scene, and that kind of turned me off of the film. Part 2 of the question, I love horror movies. What are some good recommendations to get scared? My top 2 recommendations I recommend everyone to get scared are The Strangers. Very good, very suspenseful. It makes you scared to walk around your house after that. And also The Descent. It's currently on Netflix. It's got some killer creatures in it. If you're a little claustrophobic, you will either love it or hate it. Alright, Raphael, what do you think the biggest bomb of 2018 is going to be? From what I've seen so far, I'm thinking it's going to be Sony's adaptation of Venom. And that's just going off what I've seen so far. But based off the trailer, it doesn't look like they've stepped up and done anything different from the Amazing Spider-Man franchise, which was just a little mediocre. So, based off what I've seen, I think Venom, they put a lot of hype behind it, and I don't think it's going to live up to any of that. Alright, Desperado 319. Favorite fight scene / shootout in a movie? So, for a favorite shootout, I always have a two-way tie. It's always tied between John Wick's Red Circle Club shootout, the first time he tries to kill Yusef, and the shootout at the conclusion of the film Heat, where the bank robbers shoot out with the police. I think both are expertly choreographed. The action is some of the best you can get. Alright, Film Guy, 2000. I love watching documentaries and movies based on true events, but I know Hollywood likes to fictionalize a lot of these events. What are some good movies based on true events and not very fictionalized by Hollywood? The one I always think of in this scenario, and I know what you mean, Hollywood does take their liberties with a lot of true stories, especially war films. Patriots Day was based off the Boston bombing, starred Mark Wahlberg, and anytime I see a movie that's based off true events, I like to research. I like to see how accurate they got it, and they got this film extremely accurate. Another good one is The Zookeeper's Wife, which is set in Warsaw during World War II. They stayed very true to the family story and based on the true events. So I say The Zookeeper's Wife and Patriots Day if you like more modern history. Ethan Hunt, Marvel or DC? I love Batman, Dark Knight, one of the best film series ever made. I got to say Marvel in the long run. DC, the heroes are a little too overpowered as opposed to Marvel, who are a little bit more classic in my opinion. And when you put heroes like Superman and Wonder Woman who have all this power on the big screen, it gets a little messy. I think Marvel's just a little bit more clean-cut with their action, with their story, with their characters. Alright, Firewoman 665. I love romance movies, and my SO doesn't. What's a good romance movie that he might actually enjoy? So, I'm a little embarrassed to admit this. My favorite romance / comedy is a film called About Time. It's about a guy who, he's a little awkward, a little dorky, but he finds out he has the ability to travel back in time. So he meets a very beautiful girl, and he screws it up a bunch of times, but each time he goes back in time to remedy the situation, and it's very comical just to see how he does it, and it does have a good bit of romance. So if your SO is a comedy fan, you guys might get the best of both worlds, which you really don't get in romance sometimes. Alright, and our last question from Surfer Girl number 1. I love when a movie has a great twist. What movie really shocked you? I've seen Usual Suspects and Fight Club, so please don't include those. Well, everyone's seen Usual Suspects and Fight Club, and those are iconic. My favorite twist is another film that's actually on Netflix. I saw it last year. It's been out for a few years now. It's called Inside Man. It stars Clive Owen. And I like to pride myself when I can figure out the direction a movie is going to take. It keeps you guessing until the very end. It hits you from so many angles. And when it all comes together, it's one of those where everything makes sense. And all the clues were there. And it's almost a film you got to go back and watch a second time just so you can really put all the pieces together. All right, thanks guys. I'm Nick. And this was our weekly 7 Questions with the Fans.